Leetcode 2501. The question name is the longest square streak in an array. It is a medium level question of Leetcode. So what the question is saying is basically you are given an integer array nums. A subsequence of a nums is called a square streak if the length of the subsequence is at least 2, and after sorting the subsequence, each element except the first element is the square of the previous number. Return the length of the longest square streak in a nums, or return -1 if there is no square streak. A subsequence is an array that can be derived from any other array by deleting some or no elements without changing the order of remaining elements. So let's see what the question is saying. So basically, let's say this is the given example. So nums equal to 4, 3, 6, 16, 8, and 2. And we need to find such pairs, such subsequence, which are formed such that the current element is the square of the previous element. So let's say, so basically for this given array, what are the elements so that the given element is the square of the previous element. So let's say in the given nums we have element 2, we have element 4, and we have element 16. Okay, so starting from the first element, 4 is the value of the square of the previous element. So 2 into 2 equal to 4. Similarly, 16 is the square. 16 is the value of its previous element square. So what is previous element is 4, and 4 square is 16. So basically, this is the pair we are forming. So what is the length of this subsequence? So length of this subsequence is 3. So basically my answer is 3. Okay. Now for the second example, what we are having is this nums. So in this nums we are not getting any subsequence such that after sorting this subsequence we are for every element starting from the first index, it is not equal to the square of the previous element. Okay, so that's why we are returning -1. So let's see how we will be approaching this problem. So for this I'm using a hash map. Okay, and let's say my nums equal to, I will take the first example only. So what is my input is my nums array with value 4, 3, 6, 16, 8, and 2. So basically this is my given array of numbers. So what's my first step? My first step would be initializing a hash map. So I will be first of all I will be making a hash map. I will be initializing a hash map, and I will iterate to all the elements of the nums, and I will put it into the hash map with a number of 1. Okay, so what will be in my hash map? I will be I will be having 4, or I can say this is my hash map. Okay, I will be having 4 with the value 1. It means starting from 4 there is only one subsequence which we are getting. Starting with 3 I am getting one subsequence. I am taking it initially. Okay, for 6 also I will be storing 1. For 16 also I will be storing 1. For 8 also I will be storing 1. For 2 also I will be storing 1. Okay, so I have put the entries of all the values and initialized all the values with 1. So now let's start with the first number. First of all, I will check in the first of all I will initialize a number count equal to 0, or we can say 1. Okay, it means there is only one element till now, and I will check whether its square is present or not. Okay, for the square is 16. Is 16 present or not? Yes, it is present. So I will just remove this element from here, and I will notice what is the count of subsequent starting from which is making a streak square. So currently there is only one, which is 16 itself. So I will increment the num by 1 only. So it will become 2. Okay. And I will then start at 16 and I will check whether 16 square is present or not. What is 16 square? 16 square is, I will just calculate it. 16 square equal to 256. So 256 is not present in my nums array. So I will just end over here and I will change the count of 4 to 2. So 4, I will replace it by 2. Okay. Now this is done. 4 is done. Okay. Now I will come at 3. And first of all, I will check is there an entry at hash map or not, or I have already traversed it. Okay. So coming to 3, is there a value 3? Yes, there is a value 3. Now let's see whether there is a valid subsequence starting from 3. So again, what I will do, I will first of all initialize num by 1. Okay, I will just erase it for better clarity. Okay, I have initialized num by 1. Now, what is 3 square? 3 square is 9. I will check whether 3 is present, 3 square, whether 9 is present or not. It is not present. I will stop here only and I will put 3 value as 1. So I will put 3 values as 1 only, which is 1 by default. Okay. So now I will then come to 6. Check. Now num is same 1 only, and I will check whether 6 square is present. What is 6 square? 36. 36 is present in my hash map or not? It is not present. Continue, continue. 16, 16. First of all, we will check in the hash map whether it is present in or not. So after seeing at the hash map, we realize there is no 16. So I will just continue. Okay. Uh, and now I will come to 8. Again, I will check for the entry of in the hash map, and then I will check whether its square is present or not. So 8 square is 64. It is not present. I will just continue. Now, this is please listen this carefully. This is the most important part. So we are at 2, and I will check whether 2 is present or not. Yes, 2 is present in my hash map. Now I will check whether its square is present or not. 2 2 square is 4. Okay, 2 square is 4. Yes, it is present. Yes, it is present. Okay, it is present. 4. And I will check the subsequence starting with 4. So it is having 2 length subsequence. I will add it to my num. So my num will increment by 2. So 1 plus 2 equal to 3. Okay, so my subsequence length currently is 2. Why I have done this? So my let me change my color. So I am at 2, and I'm seeing that there is 2 length subsequence starting with 4, which is forming a square tree, which is 4 and 16, which I have calculated before. Now standing at 4, I will check whether there is 16 present or not. But I have calculated for this, therefore we will not find it. We will check into the hash map whether 16 is present. No, 16 is not present. We will just break it over here. And I will put the num value into 2. So what's my new num value is 3. Now, after performing the complete traversal. We have performed the complete traversal. We will now iterate to all the values of the hash map, and we will find the maximum value. So maximum value is 3. So this would be our answer. Okay. Now for this answer, what would be returning is 3 only. Okay. So now let's check the implementation. So this is my main class, my solution class, which is having a function name as long as square string, which is accepting a parameter nums array. First of all, I will initialize nums answer as -1. If there is no answer available, we need to return -1. Okay, so basically, if we are not getting any longest square string, we are just returning -1. At last, we are returning -1. Okay. Now, if my answer is 1, means there is only one length, one length subsequence. So in that case, it is not possible. So we will just convert it into -1 only. Okay. I've done it over here only. Now there is one step I have told you is that we have to iterate over all the values of the hash map, but we are not doing it over here. We will just adjust this code over here only. Okay. Now let's see the code. But I have told you I will be initializing a hash map of long comma integer. Okay, because my values can be very big, so I will just use long, and count will be integer only because it will not go very huge. It will not be a huge number. It's just a count. Okay, which is smaller than the integer the max value. So for each values in my nums, but I am converting it into a long, and I am putting it into the hash map with initializing, with setting each value, each key as one, each value of each key as one. Okay. Now again, I am iterating over all the values of nums and check whether it is present in the hash map or not. And it is and if its values is not equal to 1. So why I am performing this particular operation, I am performing this operation in case of duplicate values. So let's say there is a array of 2 4 4 2. Okay, so when I will performing this operation, okay, I am performing this operation, what I am getting for this operation is that I am getting two length subsequent. But while calculating this, I am removing all these four, the square of these. है ना? Now, when I come to the last operation, I will check whether 4 is present or not, and I will update its value by 2 as 1. So I will check whether its value is 1 or not. So 2 will in the hash map, it will be 2 comma 2. It would store 2 comma 2, but my new value of 2 will again change to by 2 to 1. So we need to prevent this. So what I'm doing is first of all checking whether the value of the current element is 1 or not. If it is not equal to 1, we'll just continue because we have previously calculated it. Okay, now what I'm doing is I need to find this value into in, basically square of e. Okay, and I have initialized the number of 2, which is the number of element in the subsequence. Now, while I have the key, I have the value in the hash map. I will add the value of that particular key from the hash map in the num, and I will remove that value. Okay, I will just remove that value and I will update the value to its square. After performing this, I will just put hash map e comma -2, the current element comma now. And at last, I'm just updating the answer as max of answer comma num. So I am not doing this over here. I am just it's making my code bulky. So I am just performing this operation over here, and at last we will just return the answer.